and communicating that, again, authoritatively to the government of Nigeria, who in the end is ultimately responsible for preventing this catastrophe.
Yeah, indeed, Nigerian government is responsible ultimately for preventing this catastrophe. That was the word he ended with. But truly, can Nigerian government actually prevent this catastrophe? These people that pretend as if they don't care for the people, it seems nobody cares for the citizens of Nigeria. Do you even think that this country can hold for a very long time? Because there is nowhere that anybody is happy. There are a lot of agitation in all the parts of the country, the eastern parts, the southern part, the northern part of the country. Even the recent reform that President Tinubu is trying to do, the northerners, they are agitating because they seems not to like it because it doesn't favor them. All right, because this is a region that don't bring anything, they don't produce anything, but they share more. So the sharing formula is what Tinubu is changing. That is the major thing that is making them to agitate, and every one of them now just a para because they don't like it.
That international law, yes. United Nations law, before renditioning him from Nairobi, Kenya into Nigeria. I don't know what to understand. That's why each and every time he goes to court, he's obsessed with victory. Yesterday, no submission of no case. No submission case. The permission, written, actually envisaged or believed could be given to Nnamdi Kanu by the court to be transferred to National Hospital was dashed out. It hit the rock yesterday. It's too obvious that Nigeria is bent on violating law, both local law and international law. Nigeria is not observing international charter according to United Nations objectivities. Listen, Kanu is a free man. Kanu is an innocent man. Kanu is a leader, an achiever already. No matter what Nigerian nation is doing currently, Kanu is moving forward. Nobody could stop him. Kanu is unstoppable by Nigerian court of competent jurisdiction, by international law whatsoever. You could see that Kanu is progressively winning. Forget about case of no submission. Case of no submission as how? That someone is ailing, his health is failing him, and he wanted to treat himself. They check him, his doctor check him, his lawyers, medical, practitioners check him. The DSS brought their own, they check him, they disagreed. Now they form an independent medical, experts who could check on Kanu from all angles, from all groups, from both groups. They brought their own. Kanu brought his own. Federal government brought their own. DSS brought their own. Unanimously, they actually conducted medical check on Nnamdi Kanu, and yet they have not actually been established that Kanu is not sick. They unanimously agreed on a consensus that his kidney fails, his liver fails, all his system, and even growing what lump. You talk it here. I don't know what to understand. In his arm, you see how he's handling his hand. Thank you. He's getting excess in his body. I don't know what to understand. That potassium, Abi. See, listen, lack of potassium because he's sitting one place for almost 60 months now. Kanu is entering 5 years very soon. Since 2021 June, Kanu was brought from Nairobi, Kenya illegally by Nigerian government on the watch of Muhammadu Buhari. 2022 he went to court, appeal court too, Supreme Court, all victory for Nnamdi Kanu. What are we saying? In 2023, when actually Bola Ahmed Tinubu hijacked a mandate given to Obi, the same Nnamdi Kanu's kinsman, they took him to court to jail him. Kanu was actually obsessed with victory. In 2023, winning. In 2024, he won. Today, this year, 2025, he won. Shameless country like Nigeria is bent on manipulating, exploiting and marginalizing Igbo man. It is uncalled for. It is internationally rejected, not acceptable by what Nigeria is concentrated on doing, at least impeding Igbo man from moving forward. Each and every policy that comes in Nigeria government is a policy to crucify Igbo man. I was at trade fair yesterday. It was wonderful. The demolition, the destruction, the devastation was not something I could relive here without paper. I went there with Jota yesterday. I counted the numbers of the building. All these modern edifices, shopping malls, glass houses were brought down by bulldozer. How and why? No formal notice was served. Government was writing rubbish on the front pages of newspaper that actually notified them that the place they build their houses, their plaza were on the drainage channel, that is canal. It wasn't. The place where those malls and shopping malls were constructed are devoid of canal or drainage system. I'm telling you, intentionally Lagos state government decides on, let me say, basis of lawlessness, destroying Igbo man's property in Lagos. When Tinubu was in charge in 1999, that was how Igbo man's order started some 26 years ago. Tinubu demolished and demolished and demolished. Fachola demolished and demolished and demolished. It was only Ambode that was so emotionally unfriendly to the Igbos, to the strangers in Lagos State. Now that Ambode is gone and the Sanwo-Olu has been there since 2019, that was how they subjected Igbo properties everywhere in Lagos to what? Lawless destruction, unconstitutional, at least violating Igbo traders' rights and fundamental what? Infringement. I'm telling you, they should take it up at trade fair. That land belongs to federal government of Nigeria. Only that I believe or I suspect maybe federal has actually leased the land or released it onto Lagos State. But the court appearance in the past actually read that the land belonged to federal. That's why they could not evict or evacuate the Igbos forcefully from that land. But currently, I don't know how they actually gave it to Lagos State, and Lagos State is gonna do things outside the premises of law. Demolition of those buildings, they could not follow normal, lawful, at least procedures. You don't act lawlessly like that. You shouldn't be acting lawlessly or causing people harms outside the umbrella of law. It's against Nigerian constitution. No matter who anybody is, no matter whom you are, you must imbibe by the law, follow the law, respect the law. It is high time Igbos understand their situation in Nigeria. We are not one Nigeria. Nigeria is their Nigeria. I'm still insisting on that. The order Nnamdi Kanu is going currently should have taught everybody a lesson that the Igbo is alone, Nigeria is Nigeria. And I'm of the opinion that it is the high time the whole Igbos prepare. What? Home going. Igbo should go home and develop their land. Allow these people to be. They don't love you. No matter what you built here, no matter how you develop Southwest, you're on your own. Go down to Southeast and develop your states. You won't establish here forever. Akuluona, Okwebo Sibia. Akugaluona, Okwebo Sibia. When you take your money home, your investment to home, that is when you actually begin to tell people sources of your wealth. Maybe by resilience, by grace of God, and by nature. Of course, you know that Igbo man's condition or situation is that Igbo man is blessed to make money. Out of the 12 sons of Jacob, there are ones that are destined to make wealth. I don't know whether you heard about Manasseh. Have you heard about Solomon himself? I think he is from the descendant of Manasseh, and he happened to be the richest Jew. The richest Jew ever existed was King Solomon. He is still now currently, as God bless him, nobody has equaled his wealth achievement in history. So what I'm saying now is, let me tell you, Nnamdi Kanu illegally is being suffered. The law, international law, Nigeria infringed it and actually brought him from Kenya into Nigeria contraption, and they have never ever agreed to pay Mazanga, pay the Kenya Pan-Africanists that won Kanu's case in Kenya. 10 million shillings, 130 something million naira, if converted to Nigerian local currency. So Kanu's rendition, I'm telling you, United Nations Working Group has faulted the international rendition of Nigeria, government actually perpetrated against Nnamdi Kanu, that due international process, international law, United Nations documents, law and charter articles were not imbibed or observed. So it is high time that Nigeria should back down and allow Nnamdi Kanu to be.
Okay, but do you not think that but what of if Nigeria keeps refusing to accept this order by the UN? Do you think that Nigeria can be sanctioned?
Nigeria is going to receive heavy sanctions, if they fail to release political prisoners. Nnamdi Kanu is not only political prisoners, a man that is in prison as a result of ethnicity, tribal bigotry, and other vices within Nigerian system. And we are actually going to take the boot. I mean, embargo, sanction, and many international, deprivation, especially the United Nations and all its departments, should actually abandon their functionalities where Nigeria should be benefiting, turn their back on Nigeria, so that this current administration should do the needful. No one should be at least persecuted because of his region or his tribe where he comes from. But you can see a tribal democracy going on under this administration. Tribal democracy, yeah.
Going on.
Yeah, going on. That's what we are practicing here.
Okay, but do you not think that because Omotosho said that Nnamdi Kanu should prepare after rejecting the no case submission, he said they should prepare for their defense. Yes. Do you think that Nnamdi Kanu's team have that have what it takes to defend him properly?
Yeah, proper defense. When you see, he has won severally. When they say prepare for your defense, you only abscond. Yeah, that is it. Boycott. You don't keep on going to court and winning and winning and winning, winning and winning and winning. And you know that this particular contraption is made up of apes, monkeys, and baboons. The politicians, the Department of Judiciary is what? A stooge before the executive. The people that have the power to be in control of this power, currently, are the one oppressing Nnamdi Kanu. There's no how you are going to be winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. Is that how to go to court? Court contempt is it. They should abandon Kanu's case and boycott. That is the best way. Back out from the court, turn their back on the so-called selfish Chief Justice that has been turning up cases, up and down everywhere. Could be that Omotocha's son is Nnamdi Kanu or his caseman. Would he be doing all this? He has failed. James Omotocha is a failure. No legal legacy.
Should we not have this benefit of that?
No benefit of that. He's not doing the normal thing. Kanu is free now. It should be said Kanu free. What are we giving him again? It is an operation of an Igbo man. In total. Nobody is listening to what James Omotocha is saying or doing again. We don't bloody care. We don't care about that. No, the trust is not. The only thing is boycott. If you ask me, I will tell you boycott. If I was among the legal team, I would have suggested to my group that we should not honor any court invitation again. Abandon Kanu there, let them jail Kanu.
But we saw Wazirike, came out recently. He said from the way he was talking, as if his lawyer they made a mistake by accepting to go into trial, that Nnamdi Kanu was one that they would have left him, or
boycott
that why
going to the court again? Why Ejimako is starting afresh again? That is what? No, it's not a mistake. It is an intimidation, and hopefully he believes that anytime they go for a case of no submission, they are going to give it to them. They would give it to them. That was the belief of the young lawyer Ejimako. But you see that anytime they go to court, they always, mimic them, being so funny, bringing up some funny, hilarious accusations, some of them ridiculous, some very funny, So I'm telling you that Ejimako is acting out of intimidation. The best thing for his legal team to do is boycott. total boycott
Well,
is
is
the
that
only
not
way you
worse?
could respond to government.
Will it not be worse?
No.
When they are not-
When you boycott, the whole international will come, committee will come in and actually understand that Nigeria has been violating Mazen, and they can actually that is a prisoner of conscience. That is when international committee will begin to act. Yes, Mandela was jailed for nothing. Let you jail Nnamdi Kanu now. Chebi Igboho is free, working free everywhere in his state. Kanu is not working free because Kanu.
He said
Well,
the president is after him too.
Oga, but wait. Igboho's offense, the same offense with Kanu, is because Kanu is an Igbo man. Let us tell ourselves the truth. If I could be Kanu's lawyer, I will boycott the court. I won't go there. We will boycott the court so that it will escalate, because it's obvious now that IPOB, anywhere we see any Nigerian government official, we go seize him. Outside Nigeria, that is the latest issue now. Indigenous people of Biafra are every Igbo man. I'm an indigenous people of Biafra because I'm from Igbo land. It's an abbreviation. Indigenous people of Igbo land, indigenous people of Southeasterners. Biafra is a nation. It existed before. You don't tell me what I know. So indigenous people of Biafra are terrorists. What do you call Fulani men that are killing and slaughtering farmers across Nigerian farmlands, southwest, everywhere? Could be that na Igbo man, they do that one. Wait till I go talk. Kanu is free. Nothing is wrong with Kanu. Kanu is not culpable of any crime whatsoever. Nigeria.
I saw this video, and this is very important, that the US government, the congressmen are now discussing about Nigerian breakage. And according to what they said, that Nigeria is at the verge of breaking, that they need to do something about it. And this has to do with the issue of Biafra and agitations and many other things that is happening in Nigeria. For US Congress to begin to discuss about Nigerian breakage, then it is a serious matter. I wanted to take out your time and watch this video to the very end. Then let's hear your thoughts right there in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well.
Again, the purpose of this event is to try to make sure that the Congress of the United States, the administration of this country, our friends and allies around the world, and not least, of course, people of goodwill in this country and elsewhere, are on notice that Nigeria is at risk of disastrous collapse. That the forces that we've just been talking about are in the process of taking down a country that is the most populous in Africa, with horrific implications, not just for the immediate vicinity, the Lake Chad region as it's known, but for that continent and almost certainly others beyond. Congressman Wolf mentioned Bona, talking about a catastrophe that would make what has happened to Europe in the past few years, as a relatively small number of people migrated there with unbelievably chaotic consequences, look like a day at the beach by comparison. We're on notice, and the question is, do we have to wait until this horror is upon us before something is done about it? Or do we take steps now to try to prevent that? And I don't think any of us is saying that this is a panacea. But the appointment of the appropriate individual with the requisite authority, I just want to underscore what Congressman Wolf said about having the President of the United States essentially personally empowering Senator Danforth to lead the effort on behalf of our country to alleviate that situation. That has to be done again, and it has to be an empowering of a person with the stature and the capabilities needed to do two really vital things. One is to pull together the government agencies that have responsibility for pieces of a problem like Nigeria. The Defense Department, as well as, of course, the State Department, USAID, the UN mission of the United States, the National Security Council, and others, to come together with a common, appropriate, and much needed policy approach. And then secondly, at least as importantly, to be able authoritatively to represent what that approach is to the government of Nigeria. So they know who they're dealing with. They know that this is, in fact, the policy, and they can't go, looking for people who will provide some sort of alternative that might not require as much of them. So it's those two vitally important things that have to be done. And on behalf of, again, the Save the Persecuted Christians Coalition and team, I just want to say I think this is a moment of truth, a moment when we will find a difference being made by an administration that is about making a difference on behalf of religious freedom and those who are being denied it around the world. And let me just take a moment to say, as bad as this situation is, it is just one of the areas in the world in which particularly Christians are suffering. By some estimates, it's as small a number as 215 million Christians being brutally persecuted. By others, it's as high as 500,000. Excuse me, 500 million. This is on our watch. It is unconscionable. It must be challenged, contested, and if possible, stopped. And that's what this coalition is about. And I pray that we will be able, with the help of people like Congressman Estes and Congressman Wolf and the Archbishop and our coalition and countless others, to see this problem sorted by the appointment at the earliest possible moment, preferably by the end of this year, because these elections are approaching, of an individual with the requisite authority of the President of the United States and the assignment of making both the U.S. government policy coherent and clear and effective, and communicating that, again, authoritatively to the government of Nigeria, who in the end is ultimately responsible for preventing this catastrophe.
Yeah, indeed, Nigerian government is responsible ultimately for preventing this catastrophe. That was the word he ended with. But truly, can Nigerian government actually prevent this catastrophe? These people that pretend as if they don't care for the people, it seems nobody cares for the citizens of Nigeria. Do you even think that this country can hold for a very long time? Because there is nowhere that anybody is happy. There are a lot of agitation in all the parts of the country, the eastern parts, the southern part, the northern part of the country. Even the recent reform that President Tinubu is trying to do, the northerners, they're agitating because they seems not to like it because it doesn't favor them. All right, because this is a region that don't bring anything, they don't produce anything, but they share more. So the sharing formula is what Tinubu is changing. That is the major thing that is making them to agitate. And every one of them now just a para because they don't like it. So guys, what do you think about this whole story? Drop it right there in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share this video. God bless you. See you next time.
Court a ga-ata gbasara Nnamdi Kanu kamgbe ka m na-aṅa ntị ka m nụ na ahapụgo ya si ya naba, mana ihe m na-anụzi abụ ihe m chọburu ịnụ. Mgbe m nụrụ na ebidokwara keesi a n'isi, keesi ewedoro na Court of Appeal, apụtara m kwuo okwu tele ebumnobi eji ebido ha keesi awinu na Court of Appeal n'isi. Mana eche na nwere nkata akpara kamgbe m emechi ọnụ sị ka m nụkena asị no case submission ka manụ eche m na ọ ka eruwe nke ibuwe no case submission, because n'oge nke m agwara m gwa my lawyers na ka ga-esi ahapụ m na aga na court na maka na mama nwụọ na ka m gaa lie ya. Eche m ụdị understanding enwere with Nnamdi Kanu before ebido ha case ewinu na Court of Appeal ebidokwa n'isi. So enweghị understanding enwere ebidokwa case n'isi. Who does that? Who does that? I mean, it's laughable. It's incredible. case he win in a court of appeal. Fine, ha got a Supreme Court. Sina ha kwero. Fine, he can go that agree. You obey the court of appeal first. Ha chupano. Lawyer told them na lano lawyer. Had one Nnamdi Kanu the detention. The whole world will hear it. See na court of appeal. If we go mad, see happen. Para government umba. The embarrassment is on them. The joke is on them. Mbeishi all over the world na akpo no. And they'll be forced to release him. Hanus will ebido kwala case issue. And I tell you, maybe the modality actually use. We're happy. I'm not just hey God. Now what for you people? Now what for you people? I mean, just a bit of a case as in what? I kept on understanding. Kept understanding. Oil refers terrorism. This is political issue. It has nothing to do with the judiciary. The judiciary is a part of government. It's an arm of the executive. The 1999 Constitution as amended, whatever it is a rubbish constitution. It made the judiciary an arm of the government as long as it is the president that appoints the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Judiciary is an arm of the government. It's just like when you say independent electoral commission. Which independence? When the president appoints the chairman of the electoral commission. The electoral commission is an arm of the executive. Then, you are being accused of terrorism. God helps you, did miracle for you. Court of appeal. Akwasha the case. Nga kige jidaka. Ale kule so on Aburi we stand. Release him first. Ale kule judges, lawyers, the defense lawyers. I don't want to allow. So no God was here. But how do they care ha? Ndị mmadụ aga na-akpọ ha n'ọnụ mana Nigeria mana outside Nigeria. Akpụgide ha n'ọnụ ha si alawa. Unu ga-abidozie n'isi. Kekwa unu make expect before. Huh? The Court of Appeal judges ikpere ikpe ahụ. Government bara ha mba. Transfer all of them out of Abuja. Enweghị na-anụ ya nụ. Bara ha ezigbote mba. So ihe ha ga-eme ka unu ghọta na ha chọrọ convict Nnamdi Kanu. Anụ na-enwe ọdụ chi ya na-egburu ijiji. That verdict by the Court of Appeal wu chi ya gburu ijiji. I don't know. This case ebidoro nke ikpeazụ m na-eche ma enwere ihe unu na ha kpara. Hey! Anụ asị anụ na-achọ ngwere ogbugbu ọ ngwere kwete na anụ ha ga-egbu ya anụ egbu ya ma ngwere kwete ga-ana ma gbu ya. At that level my own bụ na my high court my Court of Appeal I lost the cases. Nke a bụ na o win na Court of Appeal.
We are saying that the judge has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try Nnamdi Kanu, because that particular issue of being a victim of extraordinary rendition must be determined, and that one will be whether they will be the one that will confer jurisdiction on the court. And the court said there is no evidence before him. No, we are going to supply evidence before him that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition. Then, having done that, there is no case to answer. So that you should go home with that. And if they fail to do otherwise, we will not see it as a war against